y'all, welcome back to my channel, Quilter Chris. My name is Kristen and I'm so glad you're here. I hope you all are having a really great day today. So I'm doing okay. It's been a little bumpy, but I'm really happy to be with you here now. And I want to kind of take a few minutes and show you what I've been working on and what I plan to do in the future. So I did have to make a list so I don't forget anything. So if you see me looking down or anything, that's why. So let's get into it. The first thing that I've been working on, and I'll put up some pictures. The big parts of the quilt, I do have this design board, but a lot of the big parts of the quilt I lay on the floor, and I promise my carpet is clean. We vacuum it about every other day, but my cat really likes cardboard, and so there's tiny pieces of cardboard all over the floor, so if you see those, I apologize. But first up is the Scarecrow Quilt. This is called the Quilted Scarecrow. It is a quilt by Holt, and I really like Holt. I am making it. I did not buy a specific fabric bundle to make this. I keep a bin of Holt scraps, and so I'm just pulling it from there and some other scraps for the big pieces. So what have I done on this? So I want to show you without giving it away, but I've done most of the leaf blocks, and I'll show you. It looks like she has 1, 2, 3. I think she's got 4 different kinds of leaf blocks here. Yes. So I've done all the leaf blocks because I just go in order in the book. And so I've done all the leaves. I've done the Scarecrow page and his hair. Just with some scraps, and I did his gloves, which I don't have. Here are his gloves. They're not attached to anything yet. So I've done his gloves. They're cute. And here are some of the leaf blocks. And here's a thumb. This is the thumb block. As you can see, I'll show you. I still have a lot of blocks to go, but I have put a lot of it together too. So I'll show you a picture here that shows the Scarecrow's head and a bunch of the leaf blocks put into their rows. So that's really cute. I've made a lot of progress on it. It is a fall quilt. I wanted to do it in the fall. We've already had snow here in Pennsylvania. So there's a really small difference in time here. We're in the U.S., and so usually the Christmas season starts the day after Thanksgiving and goes until New Year's. And this year there's only, I think, 3 weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas in the U.S. And so I've jumped into the Christmas season is basically what I'm trying to say. So what did I do next? So I did get Fat Quarter Shop had a Jolly Box, I think they called it. And let me see if I can find the front of this pattern. And it came with this pattern. And it came with the fabric to do it. I did not order the finishing kit. So it came with a fat quarter bundle. And then you needed about 2 yards background and sashing. You needed 1 yard of the red for the outer border. And then you needed 5/8 yard for the binding. So I didn't have any of that. What I did, and I'll show you a picture of my completed quilt here. And so what I did is I had enough to put it together. I used Kona cotton for the white background. My Kona I had gotten at Hobby Lobby, but you can get Kona cotton. It used to be at Joann's. You can get it at your local quilt store. You can get it at Etsy, online, lots of places. I feel like it's a really high quality cotton. It's just plain white is what I got. And so I like to have, I think I bought 4 or 5 yards of it last time. So I like to have several yards available for this sort of thing. So I put it together. And then for the border, I usually don't like these wide borders anyway. And so for the border, I just cut 3-inch strips of my scraps, and that's what I did for my border. And then I have another fun fabric I got at Hobby Lobby that's Christmas lights that I will probably use for the backing when I get that done. and maybe for the binding as well, or maybe scraps I'll use for the binding. I haven't decided yet. So that one, this top is done. I just need to quilt it. The Scarecrow one, that's in progress. I would call it about halfway done. So hopefully I'll finish that around the first of the year. So then I cut up my scraps for the after quilt. You can see those here. They're from a couple of different quilts at this point. And I'm going to use these paper pads. I have like 3 of them, I think. And this is what I'm going to use my scraps with. So I've cut up, I have a few remaining from the Christmas quilt, but I already have lots of the squares cut up. So I'm going to work on doing some of that and the paper piecing for a scrap quilt. So that's next up. And then a quilt I haven't cut up yet. I'm going to be doing the Christmas figs. I don't know if you watched a couple of videos back. I was like, should I do the Lori Holt one or should I do this one? I decided I'm going to do this one. And this is one of those books, and I think I talk about this in another video. If you haven't seen it yet, it's probably coming up, where I talk about thrifty ways to quilt and to kind of stretch your fabric and your supplies. Anyway, one of the things I talk about is that any quilt can be a Christmas quilt if you use Christmas fabric, right? So this is called Christmas Figs, but it could be just a regular sampler quilt if you use the different fabric, or it could be a Christmas quilt if you use Christmas fabric. And so mine's going to be a Christmas quilt. And I have this art gallery fabric that I've had for a couple of years now. It's really like turquoises and peaches. It's really pretty. The fabric, some of the fabric I have for it, you can see this. And so these pictures that are like pinks and corals and kind of a sage green, they're what I'm going to use to make the quilt. And then for the background, I have this fabric, and it's like a beige with white dots, as in a dotted Swiss. So yeah, I'm really excited to do that. I have some solids to go with it, and I will show it to you right there so you can see it. So obviously I have to press this, but then I will get it cut out and I will make the Christmas figs. I do have some days coming up here, some days off coming up at the end of this week. My husband has some appointments, so I don't know how much actual sewing time I will get in, but hopefully I'll get some in so I can get to work on this. I won't finish it by Christmas this year, but I will finish it by Christmas next year and get it all quilted and everything for Christmas. So those are quilts I've been working on. Let's see what else I've been working on. So I also like to do cross stitch, and I've talked about this a little bit, not a whole lot, but I like to do cross stitch. In February, the end of January, February of last year, we got a new puppy. And so I usually cross stitch in the evenings. We watch TV. It's a calm, peaceful time. My 12-year-old Clara likes to hang out with me. We'll pick a movie or something, and that's why I do my cross stitch. Well, with the puppy, we didn't have a lot of time to do that in the evenings. There weren't a lot of quiet evenings. Totally fine. That's what having a puppy is. But now the puppy is a little bit over a year old. She's much calmer, and now she sits with me while I do my cross stitch, so I finish them. Plus, we pulled out the Christmas gifts, and I put my finished cross stitch in one I had in progress, or the one I wanted to work on. I put that in with the Christmas things, and when we pulled out the Christmas decorations, it was there. So this was one I finished last year, but I just put it in the pillow this year. So this is really cute. This was a cross stitch pattern. I'm pretty sure I got it on Fat Quarter Shop. I'm 90% sure. There's also, sometimes I get cross stitch patterns on Etsy. Sometimes there's this needlework shop I go to in Williamsburg, Virginia that I love, and I have some patterns I've gotten there. But I'm pretty sure I got this at Fat Quarter Shop, this pattern. The fabric is all sparkly, so it may have come with it. I don't know if the sparkly on the blue fabric doesn't really come up, but I think it's really cute. It's a polar bear in a sweater with a fox and a penguin and the two trees. And then I used some rickrack here, and I made it into a pillow cover. And I put in a zipper. My zipper is like rainbow sparkly. It's one of the ones I use for the handbags. And then I made my own pillow form out of this same fabric. This is just a fabric I got at Hobby Lobby. It's a white on white print. And so, yeah, it's great. I love it. It just will go here. It goes on this little sectional here in our family room slash sewing room. So I made this. This one was all finished. So then this is a Christmas one that I just started working on, I think a couple of weeks ago. It's by the same designer right here. This one I got on Etsy. And this is the pattern that I'm working on. But I decided to do mine a little different. So I had a piece of scrap cloth, and it's probably too small for this design. I'm going to just barely make it. So I'll probably turn it into a pillow anyway, so it won't really matter, but it's really close. So this is my cross stitch. I don't use a hoop, so sometimes when I'm stitching and I ball it up in my hand, it gets a little wrinkly, so I apologize. But I did something different with this. So I changed the colors a little bit. I don't know how well they show up, but I used a variegated thread. And this is a DMC thread. So this is the thread I used on the house. It is a DMC. The thread is 4523. And I thought it made the house look like it had shingles, like the variegated color. And the roof is a variegated thread as well. And this house is the same one, 4522, also a DMC color. So, yeah, the other houses I may change the color or not. I haven't decided. So again, there's the pattern. So I've been working on that one. Claire and I will watch Christmas movies while I work on it. If I don't finish it, which I should finish it, it's not very big. If I don't finish it by the time we put away the Christmas decorations that first week in January, then I'll pack it away with the Christmas decorations, and then I'll work on it again next Christmas time. It is vintage Housewife cross stitch. So here is what I have done on it so far. Oh, I have it upside down. So I'm going to finish doing the gingham all the way around, and then I'll work on filling in the boxes. I don't know what I'll turn it into when it's done. Maybe another pillow, but I have a lot of pillows. I'm not sure. For a quilt project, I was looking through my patterns, and I asked Clara, my 12-year-old, which one I should do. And she picked this one. I've had it printed out for a while. This is another Lori Holt one. I do have other patterns that aren't Lori Holt, but I kind of have a backlog of these. So this is called My Happy Place Sew Along. And so this I printed out. It includes the patterns for the piece blocks. As you can see, it's printed out. This is a guide. I don't think I paid for this. I think I went to Lori Holt's page, and her blog, Be In My Bonnet blog, I went to her page, and I think she has it set up by week. This sew along was from 2021, but you can still access it. Everything's on there. I did get the templates, so the Sew Simple shapes. I've had these for a little bit because I feel like these templates you can use for other quilts. So this quilt is partially pieced, like the sewing machine's pieced, these corner blocks are pieced, but a lot of it's applique too. I do not applique the same way that Lori does with the interfacing and turning it wrong side out. I don't do that. I use heat and bond and then I stitch it down by machine. So I might show you all, if you all are interested, I might show that to you as I do it. But that's what I'm working on. I'm actually really proud of all the progress I've made on my other two quilts. And I also have a quilt that I'm working on for my friend that's flying geese and the block of the month. I'll show you a picture of the block of the month here. So I do that every month. This year, so 25, 26 is the designer mystery block of the month. I think this year will be my last year that I do that for a little while. It's a little overwhelming for me, but I've been working on it. And then I have a quilt I'm working on for my friend that's a bunch of flying geese. I've literally had it for years, so I really need to work on that too. But tell me what you're working on. Do you have a lot of projects going on, or how many projects do you like to juggle at once? I try to keep it to 2 or 3. Sometimes it gets ahead of me, but I try to keep it there. But I would love to hear from you. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.